Happy Year's End 2023. Let's conclude a journey. Now, I have to say, for personal reasons, I need to get this poem complete, off my chest, as it were. It has bothered me, mainly because of my thoughts towards it, and the fact it was quite on my mind when I suffered my injury. And really, before we move into the new year, I think I'd just like to leave it behind. With the thing of having completed Skirnir's journey. So let's get on with it. I'm going to start with the Jackson Crawford translation and then conclude with the Carolyne Larrington translation, and hopefully put all of my thoughts into the expression or the way I read the rest of the poem. Gerd said, "What is this noise I'm hearing in our halls? The earth trembles and everything shakes in the home of Skirnir." A serving girl said, "There is a man outside. He has stepped off his horse and he's letting it feed." Gerd replied, "Ask him to come inside, into our hall, and drink the splendid mead, though I fear that he may be the one who killed my brother." "Are you of the Aesir, or the wise Vanir, or one of the elves, guest? Why have you come over the great flame to see our home?" Skirnir replied, "I am no elf, nor one of the Aesir, nor one of the Vanir, though I have come over the great flame to see your home. I have 11 apples, made all of gold. I will give them to you, Gerd, to buy your love, so that you will pledge to live happily with Frey." Gerd said, "I would never accept 11 apples as the price of my love for any man, not even for Frey. I will never marry him so long as we live." Skirnir replied, "I will give you the ring that Odin placed on his young son's funeral pyre. 8 just like it drop from it every 9th night." Gerd replied, "I would never accept that ring, even if Odin did place it on his young son's funeral pyre. I have no lack of gold in the home of Skirnir to share with my father." Skirnir said, "Do you see this sword, girl? This slender, pretty sword which I have in my hand here? I will cut off your head from your neck unless you go along with me. I will never endure the threats of any man, and I think if Skirnir finds you here, you brave men will come to blows." And Skirnir continued, "Do you see this sword, girl? This slender, pretty sword which I have in my hand here? Your old father will bend his knees beneath this blade. It will be the death of your father. I will beat you with a club till I tame you, girl, till you go along with my wishes. Then you'll go to a place where no one will ever see you again. You will sit forever on an eagle's nest, turned away from the world, looking in at hell. Food will seem as awful to you as the Midgard serpent seems to men. You will be laughed at when you emerge. A giant man will look at you. They'll all stare at you. You'd be better known than Heimdall himself staring out behind your gate. Foolishness and screaming and pain, unendurable pain. May your tears grow with your sorrow. Sit down, and I will tell you some sad news. I'll double your grief. Monsters will bend you over for the whole unhappy day in Jotunheim. You'll crawl every day without choice, without hope, to a hall of frost trolls. You'll weep and never be happy. Your sorrows will make you cry. You'll have a three-headed giant for your husband, or go without a husband. You'll go crazy and rot with illness. You'll be like a fat thistle, ripped halfway off its stalk and left to dry. I went to a forest to get a young tree branch to find a magic wand there. I found a magic wand there. Odin will rage at you. Thor will rage at you. Frey will hate you, you evil girl. You have earned the hatred of the gods. Hear me, giants. Hear me, frost trolls. Hear me, fire trolls. Hear me, gods. I curse this girl. I curse her never to know a man's love, never to have a husband. Hrimgrimnir's the name of the troll who will take you down below the gates of hell. There, below the tree roots, servants will bring you goat's urine to drink. You'll never get anything better to drink. Not if you want it, girl. Not even if I want it, girl. I curse you with that troll and 3 other curses: sexual shame and madness and unbearable suffering. I've cursed you already, but I'll call off the curses if you give me good reason. Gerd said, "Be welcome here instead, and take this drinking horn full of good ancient mead. Even if I previously said that I would never marry that god of the Vanir, Skirnir said, I want to know. My errand's complete before I ride away. Tell me when you'll meet the noble son of Njord. When will you come to comfort Frey?" Gerd said, "There's a grove named Barry. We both know it. A peaceful place in the forest. After 9 nights, Frey, son of Njord, will enjoy my love there." Then Skirnir rode home. Frey stood waiting for him and asked for the news. "Tell me, Skirnir, before you unsaddle that horse, before you take one more step. What did you accomplish in Jotunheim for your or my purposes?" Skirnir said, "There's a grove named Barry. We both know it, a peaceful place in the forest. After 9 nights, Frey, son of Njord, will enjoy Gerd's love there." Frey said, "1 night would be long enough. 2 would be worse. How can I contain my lust for 3? A month has often seemed shorter to me than half such a marriage night." So on to the Carolyne Larrington translation. Gerd said, "What is that noise of noises which I hear now making a noise in our dwellings? The earth trembles, and all Gymir's courts shudder before it." The serving maid said, "There is a man out here, dismounted from a horse. He is letting his horse graze." Gerd said, "Tell him to come into our hall and drink the famous mead, though I am afraid that out here may be my brother's slayer. Who are you, of the elves, or of the Aesir's sons, or of the wise Vanir? Why do you come alone over the wild fire to see our company?" Skirnir said, "I am not of the elves, or of the Aesir's sons, or of the wise Vanir, though I come alone over the wild fire to see your company. 11 apples here I have, all of gold. Those I will give you, Gerd, to buy your favour, that you may say that to you Frey's the least loathsome man alive." Gerd said, "11 apples I will never accept at any man's desire. Nor will Frey and I settle down together as long as our lives last." Skirnir said, "I shall give you a ring, the one which was burnt with Odin's young son. 8 are the equally heavy ones that drop from it every 9th night. I won't accept a ring, even if it was burnt with Odin's young son. I lack no gold in Gymir's courts, my father's wealth at my disposal." Skirnir said, "Do you see this sword, girl, slender, inlaid, which I have here in my hand? Your head I shall strike from your neck unless you declare we are reconciled." Gerd said, "Coercion I shall never endure at any man's desire. Though I reckon this, if you and Gymir meet, keen fighters, a battle is bound to occur." Skirnir said, "Do you see this sword, girl, slender, inlaid, which I have here in my hand? Before these edges the old giant will fall. Your father will be doomed. I strike you with a taming wand, and I will tame you, girl, to my desires. Therefore you shall go where the sons of men will never see you again. On an eagle's mound you shall sit from early morning, looking out over the world, hankering towards hell. Food shall be fouler to you than is the shining serpent to all living men. May you become a spectacle when you come out. May Herimnir glare at you. May everything stare at you. Better known may you be than the watchman among the gods. May you gape through the bars. Madness and howling, tearing affliction and unbearable desire. May tears well up for you with grief. Sit down, for I shall tell you heavy tormenting craving and twofold grief. Fiends will oppress you all the long weary day in the giants' courts. To the halls of the frost giants every day you shall creep without choice, without hope of choice. Weeping you shall have for pleasure, and misery shall go with your tears. With a free-headed ogre you shall linger out your life, or else be without a man. May your spirit be seized, may pining waste you away, be like the thistle which is crushed at the end of the harvest. I went to the forest, to the sap-rich tree, to get a magic twig. A magic twig I got. Odin is angry with you. Thor is angry with you. Frey will hate you. Most wicked girl, you have brought down upon you the magic mighty wrath of the gods. Hear, O giants, hear, O frost ogres, Sutun's sons, the Aesir band itself, how I forbid, how I deny pleasure in men to the girl, benefit from men to the girl. Hrimgrimnir is called, the giant who will possess you down below the corpse gates, where bondsmen will give you goat's piss at the tree roots. Finer drink you'll never get, girl, at your desire, girl, at my desire. Ogre I carve for you, and 3 runes, lewdness and frenzy and unbearable desire. I will carve that off, as I carved that on, if there is need of this. Gerd said, Be welcome now, lad, and receive the crystal cup full of ancient mead. Though I had never thought that I should ever love one of the Vanir well. Skirnir said, All my errand will I know before I ride home from here. Will you grant a tryst to Niord's vigorous son? Gerd said, Barry is the name, as we both know, of a wind-calm grove. And after 9 nights, there to Niord's son, Gerd will give love's pleasure. Then Skirnir rode home. Frey stood outside and greeted him and asked for news. Tell me, Skirnir, before you fling the saddle from the horse and you step a foot further, what you achieved in Giantland, your desire or mine? Skirnir said, Barry is the name, as we both know, of a wind-calm grove. And after 9 nights, there to Niord's son, Gerd will give love's pleasure. Frey said, Long is 1 night, long are 2, and how shall I long through 3? Often a month to me has seemed less than half one of these wedding eves. There is some unpleasant language used against Gerd, which I do not think flatters Frey. Some of it, when you listen to it or read the words, is very unpleasant. Really, just some of the threats that Skirnir put to Gerd. I will leave this now behind in 2023 and address it at another time, perhaps. It is something that, can question an opinion about one of the gods, one of the Vanir in Frey. But it has been very much his year. It's been quite moist. Even now, it's unpleasant weather. Things have grown. I mean, it's weird that I just haven't been able to go out into my garden this year to have a fire. It's like the first year it's been. Any time that I've had time to have a fire, it has been raining. It's been wet. So hopefully we will leave that behind. Whatever you're doing tonight, may you celebrate the passing of 2023, the arrival of 2024, in a way that is pleasant to you, without any coercion. And I will see you again soon. Thank you very much. Do take care. Goodbye.